Went from condos to Pop's house. On calls, now bus routes.
The sweeping federal raid being called one of the largest in Philadelphia history. Tonight, dozens have been indicted in an alleged drug ring stretching from Kensington to Puerto Rico. The FBI revealed today that 33 people have now been charged, 30 taken into custody, all of it following a very visible raid just before 11 a.m. today. Dozens of FBI agents descending on a home here along Weymouth Street in Kensington, as police tell it that street was the nexus of a sprawling drug enterprise. Action News reporter Amy McCormick live at the FBI building in Center City tonight. Amy, this operation brought the FBI director to Philadelphia today.
Yeah, and that's how important it was to the agency. Both the FBI director and also the U.S. Attorney, Brian, calling this a historic gang takedown for a gang that they say took over a portion of Kensington. FBI agents at Allegheny and Weymouth Streets this morning raiding this Kensington block in what officials are calling a historic federal indictment.
We have permanently removed a drug trafficking organization out of the streets of Philadelphia, and they're going to stop pouring guns and chemicals and drugs into our communities.
FBI Director Kash Patel in Philadelphia today. The target, the Weymouth Street gang, described as violent drug traffickers who ran this part of Kensington operating like a business. The organization also has connections to New Jersey, Delaware, and Puerto Rico. Officials say these photos that are part of the indictment reference the violent nature of the gang, with associates threatening to harm people if they went to authorities.
It's a massive drug trafficking conspiracy spanning nearly a decade, involving tremendous volumes of fentanyl and narcotics, and it takes place at the epicenter of the opioid crisis.
33 people were indicted, 30 are in custody, and 24 were arrested this morning. The U.S. Attorney singled out the leaders of this drug trafficking organization.
This DTO was led by Jose Antonio Morales Nieves, aka Flaco, a 45-year-old man from Puerto Rico, but a frequent flyer here in Philadelphia, who essentially owned the 3100 block of Weymouth Street and allowed other members of the DTO to sell drugs on the block in exchange for a payment of rent. He was joined by Ramon Roman Montañez, 40-year-old from Philadelphia, who essentially ran the day-to-day operations.
We are removing an entire coordinated section of gang violence permanently off the streets, and that's how you deliver a victory.
Now, the FBI says that 11 search warrants were served, including some outside of the city. Those defendants, Brian, all facing charges related to drug trafficking, but also to dogfighting.
Wow. Hey, man, you know what I say to these drug busts that we seeing right now? You know what I say to these drug busts that we seeing right now? You want to know again what I say to these drug busts that we seeing right now? Let me tell you this, man. There's a lot in me that I used to look at things like this and say, they always messing with us. FBI, police, you know, out here in LA, LAPD. Why don't they just leave us alone? You know, cause you know, I come from Watts. And Watts, I always say, I didn't understand or deal with racism when it come down to dealing with other individuals that are in your city or in your neighborhoods and things like that you may have seen in the South or the Midwest, right? We dealt with our issues when it came down to discrimination and things like that with LAPD. It was the cops. Being from Watts, being from LA, I never dealt with any racism with white people until I moved, to be honest, until I moved like to, you know, out of LA, like Moreno Valley, you know, which is Riverside County and places like that. But most of the time we were dealing with things like that with the cops, right? So I never took the side of the cops. Never. You would have never saw me doing like that during a drug bust or anything like that. But let me tell you why I do that, because I'm at a different stage and place in my life. I see what's affecting these young boys, what's affecting these young kids out here. And it's individuals that are on the streets doing things like that is not rehabilitated but out there putting drugs on the street and turning these young men into now drug dealers and things like that. It's affecting the community. It's affecting young black and brown people. And I'm just at a place where I'm tired of seeing it. I don't want to see it anymore. You know? So hey, I don't care how many drug busts there are. If you're gonna take individuals off the streets that is affecting the minds of these young boys, then do it. Do it, man. Do it. Whatever it takes. What does it say? Proverbs 5:22. The evil deeds of the wicked ensnare them. The cords of their sins hold them fast. That's Proverbs 5:22. You got to understand, you reap what you sow. And the Bible say, vengeance is mine. You're not going to get away with these things, man. I cannot support it. I can't back it. I don't want to see nobody in prison, right? But if you got to go to prison to rehabilitate yourself, to come back, come back on the streets, ready to put up programs for these young boys, telling them to stay out of the drug world. It ain't going to do nothing for you but get you some time, get you locked up. It's going to take you away from your family. If you have kids, it's going to take you away from your kids. It's going to take you away from your siblings. It's going to take you away from your girl. And when you get out, she's going to be with somebody else. It's going to take you away from all of that. Leave it alone. If you got to go get locked up to get rehabilitated, to put your mind state in a place like that, then so be it. So be it. But we got to start to see changes. And these older men who is guiding these young boys got to start coming with a different perspective. Got to start switching it up, because I'm sure a lot of these men who are leaders are part of this drug bust, right? I'm sure they were all older men. Maybe all over the age of, I'm going to say 25 and up, maybe even 30 and up. Some were probably even in their 40s. Nah. These young boys are looking up to y'all in that neighborhood, man. They looking up to y'all. So things like this have to happen. I'm always on the side of, you know what, to be honest, I'm always on the side of Christ over everything. Christ is first. When it comes down to the people, I'm on the side of the people before these individuals who are getting locked up, a part of these drug busts and stuff like that, especially when it comes down to these kids. I'm on the side of them, man. The kids, the youth. So whatever got to happen to these hard-headed grown men to take them away from these kids until they get rehabilitated and changed, then that's what needs to happen. So the men who have changed, that are in the neighborhoods, now all the kids got, those kids could go and turn to them and learn different ways. Now I say, oh, I want to be like him because he got the flyest car and he got the prettiest girl. But it's because he's selling drugs and putting the wrong things out there on the streets, making the kids idolize it. Nah, man. Nah. No. That is over, man. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to back it. I don't want to take that. I don't want to take those people's side over the law enforcement no more. No, do your job. You know, in Romans, they talk about respecting government authority. Do your job, man. Whatever's going to protect these young kids. I'm all about the protection of the young kids. You know, usually I say, hey, do you, if that's what you do, you know, I'm going to pray for you, but do you. But when it comes down to affecting the young kids in a negative way, I'm not for it. And a lot of us men, we the leaders, right? The leaders that are doing the right thing got to start stepping up and labeling what's wrong and what's right. We can't sit back and just say, you know what? Hey, I'm not in it no more. We can't do that. If it's wrong, we got to call it out, man. We can't be afraid of what comes with it. Hey, have a relationship with God. If you have a relationship with God, you're not worried about what comes to you. You always have a mind of peace. right? Because you're always thinking about the fruits of the spirit because of our relationship with God. But if you live in fear, you're going to fear telling the truth and continue to see these young kids go down take the wrong path because you are not telling them the truth. You like, oh, I changed. I'm good. It's not on me anymore. You know, I got out of it. No, us older men are responsible still for these young men out here. We responsible for them. We have to give back. We have to create change. We have to talk about these things. We have to call out the drug dealers, the gang members, everyone out there that's putting anything of evil on the streets. And let me tell you this, I come from that world. These individuals were my best friends. They were my homies. I told this story many times. When I was out there in Santa Monica selling drugs, my closest friends were criminals. They were bringing me the merchandise to sell, man. I'm telling you, I loved that life. I was out there. Thank God I didn't get no time. When the cops came and broke into my house, I didn't have nothing. Thank God. Thank God for that every day, right? But I'm saying now I'm in a place to where, hey, I want to be a real leader, a leader of Christ, a disciple of these young men, and I have to call out what's wrong. And I hope a lot of other men get behind me, man. And hopefully it's a lot of other men that's already out there that's calling these things out. Not just trying to create foundations and corporations and platforms and stuff like that to help the youth, but letting the youth know, hey, see them cats over there doing that, who I'm sure is going to get locked up soon? Don't do that. That's wrong. I don't care if he the homie. What they doing is wrong. What they doing is wrong. You know? And if you do that, you're going to serve some time. And it's going to be hard picking up after that. But at the end of the day, I hope a lot of these men who are getting caught up in these drug busts and RICOs and stuff like that, I hope these men, while you sitting down, hey, go and change your life, man. Change your life. Get on a better path and get out and come out here and tell your story, because to me, those individuals can help the most because they've been through a situation that these kids look up to that tore their life apart. So now you got a story to tell, and they're gonna listen, right? So that's where I'm at with it, man. Hey, the drug bust, it happened, needed to happen. Hey, turn your life around, get your life right, man. And teach these young boys and these young men the right way.
I had to show 'em that I wasn't the